I mean, my only guess right now is throw the bone ahead of you, see if it can get through the barrier on its own, and then try to get through separately. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we're back with another episode of Yatagarasu. We come back as we normally do with notes and a board, so let's go ahead and hit that board first thing. Where we have the board changelog, where I added a spot for Mashu no Suzuki's younger brother. I changed the white line between Masho no Suzuki and Hamio to green. I connected Tobi to Natsuka with a white line. And I added King Saku, connected him with a green line to Tobi, Yukiya, and Rokan. That is the changes at the moment. I haven't changed the location thing in quite a while. I guess it's mostly because technically everybody who's in the underground, I think, is considered to be in center. So 17 episodes in, and we finally show that Natsuka would have ultimately been a bad choice to lead. I understand all the choices he made leading up to going to the underground himself and holding the prince back, but fundamentally, not understanding the politics at play or how his actions would be received by the people he would have sought to contact just kind of shows his hand towards how he likely would have treated all confrontations and meetings. I guess we've coasted on the aloofness of Natsuka this whole time, and the apparent wisdom he seemed to have had, and took it for granted that he is a person just like everyone else, with whatever foibles and flaws that may entail. Okay, so I missed it for talking about nonsense, I'm sure, but Masho no Suzuki is now Hamio's lady-in-waiting, which explains that scene of her walking past the group later in the episode. They aren't just friends hanging out now or something. She's got a position and a job to do. I suppose also implying that she backed out of her Clear Mirror Temple commitment, which she made in front of everybody. So I guess Sasaki was the place that got hit first in the introduction that we had to the monkeys. Then Sugoi got attacked. Likely just similar looking buildings to get confused by. Still, if we see a map of the locations, could indicate a path that they've taken in order to better assess how they're getting in, or rather, where they're getting in. I suppose Masho no Suzuki showing up and getting Sumio to get Yukiya a sword was the opening the prince needed to fly out and get to wherever he needed to get in order to just appear in the underground later. We know that there are so many different connections via the tunnels, at least to the ravine, and he knows quite a few of them. So no surprise that he could show up down there. More so just surprising that he did show up down there. On one hand, I also understand Natsuka's play of trying to give Yuki up as a hostage. Politics on the surface just kind of feels like it plays out like that. It's representative, it doesn't mean all that much. And not for nothing, Yukiya was held by the ravine for a month till the prince could pay them back. So there may be some confusion here about conflating the ravine for the underground. I guess Rokan hails from the underground based on his interaction with Saku, and I guess that makes sense. Dude is just built different from everyone else that we've ever seen, except for maybe Tobi. The prince isn't mixed up with you-know-what, Saku says in connection to the water seller's daughter, making me think that the underground is involved in the drugs as well. Just going to make a guess based on that sliver of information. Maybe something was stolen from the monkeys that has driven them crazy? Something related to the drugs, maybe? They mentioned that one other got through the caves before, so it's possible that whoever did that was able to bring something back. I hope it's not a sacred burial ground for the monkeys or something, and that their bones was what was stolen to make drugs with, as that makes the most sense to me right now, based on all available information. I mean, I'm thinking about my own note that I didn't fully parse out here. There's that hanging threads, right? Or Chekhov's guns. There was that one traitor who was like, oh, this thing I was supposed to deliver, nobody ever came to pick it up. And then we have Yukiya, like, why do they keep attacking the North? What if that's the thing? What if there was a thing that got stolen, or a thing that they need or they want back, that's literally being transported through the North or is stuck somewhere in the North, and their attacks are actually them looking for it. Since Yatagarasu are shape-changing birds, I just assumed that they would have bird-like bones as well, lighter and hollow, which would make the monkey bones that much more different to theirs. And my last note here, if any of my guesses above were right, and this is a sacred place for burial, then there may have been those two kids may have been visiting their parents' graves, essentially. One gets upset at an intruder raiding the bones of their ancestors, like attacking a grave robber. And the other one, not wanting their sibling to be attacked, backs them up. Would really make Yukiya a villain in this scenario, but the prince more so they'd know what was going on and still cut this kid's head off. Obviously, nothing's confirmed yet, but it all feels like that. This episode is going to need to do a lot of world building to help me understand what's going on if I'm not right. Because again, I think we're leaning on the prince as been the good guy this whole time, but we're setting up in this little micro arc that he has to protect the Yatagarasu, which might mean that he will protect them even if it makes him a villain, like a Batman scenario, right? I'm not the hero this town needs, but I'm the hero this town deserves, or backwards, whatever. The element that he might do some nefarious shit to be the person who protects the Yatagarasu. Again, I'm just guessing ahead of time. Clearly the show has kind of fucked me up for being able to guess what's going to happen. Anyway, those were my notes. That was the board. So let's go ahead and hop on in and see what we get from this episode.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, I guess, did the prince run? Or is the prince getting captured? Okay, he ran. I guess the idea is the monkeys are following now. For some reason, I saw that. In my head, I keep thinking the word nonogram, but I think it's because of tabletop RPGs I've played before. No, yeah, and I'm pretty sure those are their bones. Are they going to show up wearing his outfit that he left behind? Yeah, of course. I don't know. I keep expecting subversion from the show. I don't know why. Every time I've guessed something subversive was going to happen, I've guessed wrong. But I guess it's just the element that, obviously, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to run down the tunnels and try to attack the prince and Yukiya. But what would be the more surprising thing to happen? What if they ran down the tunnels to negotiate, or talk, or have a conflict about the past? Right, the element here that we've been introduced to the underground as a matter of, here's an agreement we've had since the last 60 years. We're being introduced to a concept of, hey, here's a thing that's happened over a long period of time. Granted, only like 2 generations, but whatever. So what if then the idea is there's something going on between the Yatagarasu and the monkeys that have been happening for a long period of time? Maybe the idea that Kinyu is protector of the mountain, or whatever the god's name was that I can't remember off the top of my head, as protector of the mountain, is a long-term agreement between the monkeys and the Yatagarasu that has been forgotten over time for the mythology or the legend of it all. Sorry, I apologize. I keep doing this throughout the reaction. My notes suddenly became real itchy. Well, I guess it's been 4 hours. Was it 3 sets of 2 apiece? I thought it was 2 sets at 4 apiece. Or 2 of 2.
今更ですが、なんであなたがここにいるんです？てか、もろもろわかんないことだらけなんですけど。
商用軍は抜けてきた。
それはわかってます。
階段の失敗は目に見えていたからな。
I mean, Rokan did.
私は必ず行くと、あらかじめ作王に伝えておいたのだ。大丈夫か？
殿下、作王と知り合いだったんですか？
ああ。
I mean, fair, you could have said that before. I think Natsuka probably would have let you come if that was the case.
あの場を収められるのは、かの老人を置いて他にはないからな。
なるほど。だからあの場に作王が現れたのですね。
作王に兄上の階段を収めてもらった後、私が一人で穴に入り、猿の情報を探る手はずになっていたのだ。しかし、お前まで来るとは想定外だ。あの御人は何を考えているのかわからないところがある。油断は禁物だな。
I guess that makes sense. It's more political maneuvering. Or trickery, I guess, from Saku.
この人の手のひらの上か。ってことはスミオさん
Came back with a sword to nobody.
息が詰まるね。少し風を入れようか。悪いね。付き合ってもらって。
いえ、私でお役に立てま
I
す。
mean, she doesn't look anything like him. How does Sumio be?
あれは
Yeah. Her former lady in waiting. Yeah. But she didn't look anything like him. She didn't even look like she doesn't even look like Hamio pretending to be him.
あいつも苦労するね。
You could probably pick up a pace if you wrap that around your hand faster.
特には。
さあ、いよいよだ。
I would think that would also make the cord burn faster.
一本道だったはず。こんなところ通っていません。
私もだ。お前の糸を追ってきたからな。
糸が。
Well, there we go.
殿下、明かりを。
Is the barrier up?
足元を見ろ。
すみません。でも糸は見つかりましたよ。あれを辿っていけば出口に。
I guess not. I thought it would have happened because the barrier cut through the ground or something.
あれここって戻ってる。どこかで道を間違ったか。もう一度。なんでまた戻るんだ。道はまっすぐだったし、脇道なんてどこにも。
ユキヤ、覚えているか？私が結界のほころびを繕っていた時のこと。おそらくここはあの結界の外側だ。
結界
Go,
の
yeah, I mean,
外側。
I assumed the moment you saw monkeys that we were
このおかしな現
past
象
the boundary.
山内を守る結界の作用だと思う。外から入ってこようとするものを排除しているのだろう。我々はそうとは知らずに結界を越えてしまい、戻ろうとして今妨害を受けている。山内の外敵と認識されているのだ。
外敵ってそんな。あ、もう時間が。
Well, you'd think the person who could get past it would be the true Kinyu. Is Yukiya being here the problem?
追いつかれたな。猿は私
The
が
bone. The fucking bone they're carrying.
方法を考えろ。
僕が
策王ができてお前にできないことはない。
そんな。
策王はただの水郷ではない。穴に入る前に必ず何かお前に手がかりを与えているはずだ。思い出せ。そして考えろ。
I mean, my only guess right now is throw the bone ahead of you, see if it can get through the barrier on its own,
下がれ、ユキヤ。
and then try to get through separately. Man, I think we're destroying any ability to negotiate later.
なんなんだ。作王からの手がかりって。考えろ考えろ。灯籠を渡されて、それからそんなんかないのか。
Yeah, just like the assassination attempt.
ユキヤ。
ユキヤ、ここだ。
You'd think that they came through the tunnels in the darkness, that they would have some ability to...
まだです。でも多分天下も探してください。白弾と経費。
白弾。
匂いですよ。
Yeah, okay. The wafting, burning sense. That makes
結界を
sense.
抜ける道しるべなんです。
そうか。
I didn't think about that because that's an outside thing, and I thought we were focusing on something he told us before.
白弾と経費。
こっちだ。ここだ。
Well, I guess they were able to bring the bone through. That's not fair. They're closing it before the thing burnt. Sounds like they're in, but still the point is, you let it burn, then you close it. They didn't even get the dong noise.
遅かったな。
どうぞ。お改めください。
That has to be like a baby's pelvis. Oh, I was way off.
悪くない。
策王、あなたは知っていたのか？
気づいたか。ああ、お前さんは長いこと留学していたからな。こいつからは独特の匂いがする。山内に存在するいかなる動物のものでもない。もちろんヤタガラスとも違う。
え、じゃあやはり猿？
猿とも違うな。
Humans?
人間だ。
Ah, there we go. Are we dead? Are we dead in this world?
人間？何ですか人間って。外界にいる動物の一種とか？
ユキヤ、外界とは何だ？
Am I gonna be right about my initial thing that I thought I was completely wrong about?
山内の外は、そこはどうなっている？
どうって。
山内は結界の薄い膜に包まれた小さな世界だ。その膜の外すべてを外界という。その外界を支配しているのが人間だ。人間は姿こそヤタガラスと似ているが、
Except for the bird part.
いや、我々が人間に似せていると言うべきか。
I guess books about the outside world. I was fucking right. It's the fucking modern world. I said this. I don't remember how long ago. I might have said this real early on when I was talking about where he went when he was in the outside world. Well, it's dead human bodies, though.
そうだ。我々の目下の敵は猿なのだからな。
Why are the monkeys around a bunch of dead skeletons?
おそらく猿は山内と外界の狭間をねぐらに人間を食料として。
I mean, unless it's an element that we've killed ourselves off and that's all it remains, but he's been in the outside world recently.
そこに人間によく似た生物ヤタガラスを見つけた。もしかしたらその区別も奴らはついていないのかもしれない。
道理で菅生も佐々木も馬は手つかずだったわけだ。
その通路ってのが分かればね。
Well, there you go. Just turns into birds.
その辺の情報は
Change the birds, you won't get killed.
あいつらが何でも知っているわけではあるまい。状況からして通路は北領にあると考えるのが自然だ。
あ、ですが作王の言うことには。
作王が何だと？多分通路は中央だが。
中央？北領ではないのですか？
I mean, that's what I said with the tunnel systems.
誰かの入れ知恵かもしれんな。
根拠を聞かせてもらえるか？
少し前に中央で若い娘が立て続けにさらわれる事件があったろ。
They called it rabies or something, didn't they?
娘たちが取引に使われたと見ている。
取引？
ああ、猿とヤタガラスの取引だ。お前らも見た通り、猿のねぐらには人間の骨がごっそりある。奴らにとっちゃただのゴミだが、ヤタガラスの中にはありがたがって欲しい。
The drugs, like I said.
つまり人間の骨は金になる。
I was waiting for him to confirm it.
持ちかけたかは知らん。とにかく娘は猿の餌となり、その報酬に
Maybe it's gonna be Kumi's dad.
もらったやつが闇で売りさばいたんだ。
それが地下街の感知するところとなったと。
そうだ。俺たちはそいつを追っていた。人は死骸で逃げられたが、少なくとも猿の出入り口が中央にあることは確かだ。
So Kumi's gonna be like another asebi type character.
こいつは返しておくぜ。
いろいろとありがとうございました。
作王、私からも礼を言う。
次はトビな。俺は引退したんだ。
ですが一つ、お忘れではないですか？
ん？
骨を売りさばいた男の名を。
Starts with a J.
かけらを持ってきたら、
It was J, I can't remember his name. It's Kumi's dad, right?
約束したそうだが。
はい。
Now there we go.
王が教え
Called
て
it.
くれました。
I'm right about fucking everything.
小梅の父親が関わっていたんです。猿が北領に現れたのも説明ができます。中央で狩りをするのは猿にとっても危険です。目立つし、あちこちに兵もいる。だけど田舎の
I mean, clearly he'd make a very good deal considering he got killed.
しかも大量に餌が手に入れられる。
だがそう簡単ではないだろう。塩漬けの肉を運ぶのにもいちいち関所を通さねばならんし、そもそも奴らは言葉ができない。
だから協力者が必要なんです。奴らの代わりに言葉を話してくれる者が。
それが自兵か。確かに筋は通るな。
Remember, there was 2 of them at the place he was at. But why'd they kill? He's probably not dead. He's probably run off with them.
地下街は人間の骨の流通を禁じているが、一部では薬として密かに使用されているらしい。粉にして微量を服用すれば幸福感を。
Like I said, it's a drug.
だが、加減を間違い飲みすぎると依存になり、正気を失い、カラスの姿から二度と人の形に戻れなくなる。
天下。
It's ironic since the monkeys don't attack the ravens anyway.
稀にしか手に入らないこ
Horses.
の希少な薬はこう呼ばれるそうだ。千人街。
So that's the thing I was wrong about. Completely not a mushroom.
これで全てがつながったな。千人街も猿も同じ通路からやってくる。差し当たっては
本人に吐き出させるしかない。もはや手段は選ばん。どんな手を使っても水売り。
Yeah, Natsuka's currently turned into a different type of character. And they're just assuming he's alive too.
私の手引き役だとさ。
怖いね。気弱そうな顔して。
どうも娘がいるそうだよ。出てこなきゃその子を晒し者にして引き回すって噂だぜ。
I thought he'd be doing a much better job of hiding, considering that we searched for him and thought he was dead the whole time. I mean, he quite literally did just give up his daughter.
だからお前はその翼で囲ったものくらい命がけで守ってみせろや。
何も知りませんでした。僕は故郷を守ることばかり考えて、誰かに守られているなんて思ったこともありませんでした。
当然だ。平時であれば外界や人間など普通のヤタガラスは知る機会もないからな。このような事態になってしまったのも私の力が至らぬゆえだ。
あなたは誠の金羽なのですか？金羽とは一体何
I
な
mean,
の
he
で
turned
すか？
golden, right? Yeah, weird. This is where the magic exists, plus technology.
ヤタガラスすべての父であり母でもある。いかなる時も慈愛をもって我が子たる民の前に立たねばならぬ。いかなる困難を前にしても民を守護し民を教え導くものであらねばならぬ。そう泰山大綱に書いてある。まさに私はそのために生まれた。
Still, though, it's monkeys, not humans invading, so...
山内を守ってきたのは結界だ。その結界が近年弱まっている。知らぬい、ほころび、猿の侵入。そして新た
Not
な
humans, though. Human bones.
殿下はヤタガラスは人間の姿に似せていると。あれはどういう意味なんです？今起きている異変と何か関係あるんですか？
ユキヤ、山内は今崩壊に向かっている。
崩壊？
I guess you just eventually you're gonna have to rejoin the world of humans. Because it's not like you guys have been like looking human for a while now. It's our guy. Dad's been found dead. You know, the way that they showed that off in the next time on last time, would have thought it would have been an important part of the episode. I mean, certainly it was, but I'm anticipating we're going to cover that more next episode. By the way, 2 episodes left. What a hell of a way to... We set up for so fucking much, but I guess we do the element of setting up for so fucking much that it's like you can do it all in your head now. Essentially the world that we've known is going to crumble, and I guess the element that we have been taking the form of humans for so long that when everything crumbles around us, we'll already be in a place to impersonate them. It's just the element that this is a society that will not be able to incorporate itself into whatever human society is out there. Because again, pictures of planes, helicopters, cities. They would need a massive re-education campaign to get them up to date on the world outside. Unless this is one of those situations where, like, this would just be like an isolated community that would one day be found, and then, you know, somebody write it up in a book, but otherwise leave them alone. They wouldn't be able to turn into birds all the time, though, and they wouldn't be able to ride around on horses. Well, that makes sense. That's 2 things that I didn't put together. The element that he's a water seller, he's got a well, the thing has not been making money, and we've shown that you had to travel underneath a water thing to get to the other side where the human bones were and everything like that. That's 2 different things put together. That makes sense. I did not connect those 2 objects. Yeah, this arc has been tiny, but it's been really good. And I guess technically we just like used the last 13, 14 episodes to set up the characters, so we know what the characters are about, what they're like, their mannerisms, even though Natsuka has completely turned into a different character at this point. To then establish what they'll be like here in this arc. I don't, even though this arc, it kind of feels tacked on, it feels like even more important, because we're now establishing that all of the political stuff that's going on in this country doesn't really matter at the end of the day, because way more important shit is happening. And not even the monkey stuff. The monkey stuff just feels like that's a problem for now. Like, where the fuck do the monkeys come from if they exist in the outside world, right? And more about it seems like the barrier is failing, the country's coming apart. Literally, we are going to have to deal with the fact that at some point in the future, our magical, mystical world is going to have to rejoin the humans. Like, imagine one of these guys running up to you with a sword and somebody pulls out a gun and shoots them. Like, they're not prepared. I don't know. Certainly, it's a lot to think about, if not for the fact that I clearly already thought about it. When I said Xanth, I think I said it last episode. Xanth is, I always describe it as magical Florida. It's a series of books that the author writes like 1 a year, or used to anyway, 1 a year, sometimes 2 a year. Just about like a fantasy country, generic fantasy adventure, if you will. But in one of the books, they have to pierce the border of the world, essentially, because the world map just looks like Florida. They pierce it, and the world outside of that is described essentially as the real world. Just cars, highways, skyscrapers, etc. So the other side of Xanth is just our world. So imagine that, like a D&D campaign with a barrier going to the real world is this. Except this is Yatagarasu, and on the other side of the barrier is the real world. That's why I was prepared for that, because I had read that. I think that was back when I got my gallbladder removed, and I had to recover. I had just Xanth books playing on tape for like 2 days straight. So, yeah, I mean, it's surprising that it was true because it was such a shot in the dark for me. But the fact that it is true is not itself surprising because, again, that shot in the dark, I didn't just make it up out of nowhere. It comes from another series, so I'm used to this sort of thing. I just don't know where they're going to go with it. Now, the fact that I was right about the not monkey bones, I thought they were monkey bones, turned out to be human bones. Why there's just a giant pile of human bones down there, I don't know. That's got to be another thing. But the bones turning out to be what the drugs are made of, that's another thing I was right about. But at the same time, I think it's more interesting to know why there's giant stacks of human bones that the monkeys are guarding. You know, another shot in the dark here. And this one I have to guarantee is 100% going to be wrong. What if this is post-nuclear war humanity? What if the monkeys are like this version's, what was the name of that movie? You did it, you damn dirty apes. What was the Planet of the Apes? I don't know why I didn't get there. What if that's their version of Planet of the Apes? That the apes are out to kill mankind because technically they're like a nature thing and humanity has ruined the planet or whatever. Again, I just don't know why there would be stacks of human bones down there. Anyway, it was a very interesting episode. I particularly am hooked on the reveal that the outside world is humanity and the prince's whole thing about the country's failing. Those are two massive things that point to a long-term future of the show, and there's only 2 episodes left. So again, I'm way interested to see how we wrap up here, especially if there's not another season. So, that's sad. I think we're just going to go ahead and wrap up until next episode, because of course, all the thoughts that I'm really going to have are come back in the notes. So, once again, I have been Theta, this has been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?